Ergonomics, wrists. How does it work? This is going to be a series in itself to give you a greater understanding of how to use your hands. How do you need to develop your hands to incorporate the force of the rotation of the body into that, but creating that snap with the racket. So understanding this is very challenging. Anyway, to explain what I want to do. When you're talking about wrist and finger ergonomics, that's a new concept. People don't understand that. How do you transmit all the force of the body into the hand, then convert that force into the grip it and snap into the racket? You have to transfer it. The hands transfer force of the body into the racket. And that requires training, ability, and you can watch the best. Watch their hands. Watch how supple they are, how they use it when they hit the ball. At the point of impact, watch what they do with their hands. Everyone works about grip, where you place it. No, whether it's basically where do you want your racket is when you're holding it, how to hold it. Hold it. You can pick any way you want to hold it. That's not what I'm addressing. I'm addressing the hand itself. And how do you make it work, whatever way you're holding it, how do you make it work, and what's the challenges? And what do you need to do? Okay, let's begin. How you want to hold it, pick anywhere. But the characteristics of how to hold your hand. First off, most grips. Now, I wish they would make these thinner for a lot of people, especially for smaller hands. If you got a big hand, that's why most of those players that are really good have big hands because of the grip. But reduce this side down. Now I'm going to introduce a concept that no one else has done. So I'm going to warn you. I'm going to incorporate a lot of ideas. We use words no one usually uses to understand the hands, the way you transmit force into the hand. And this is the key thing. These two fingers here, the ring finger and the little finger, works the tricep. So when you're serving, what do you want your arm to do? You want it to go straight. You want your arm to be extended out. You don't want it bent like this. You want it straight on hitting. So these two fingers makes your arms go straight. The ring finger and little finger. These fingers here, all these work the bicep. Okay? The thumb, the middle finger, index finger all work the bicep in different ways. Now, how you put pressure in each one of these things affects your movement of your arm. Each finger has its own tendency through the arm and helps in rotational movement of the wrist, movement of the arm itself. You press the wrong fingers when you're gripping this thing, and you won't move your hand too easy. It creates internal resistance. So understanding each one of these fingers, what it does and what they don't do. But basic, these two fingers work the tricep, these others work the bicep, then you learn how to involve. 2, when you're gripping, I don't want you to just grip with the fingers. In other words, the fingers are here. So I broke it down. Here's the 4 parts to the hand. The wrist, palm, fingers, and fingertips. You want to use your fingertips in your serve. In all the other movements, you just use your fingers. But when you're serving, you want to incorporate the most force in your serve. Now, understanding, the serve is a repeatable movement. You want to develop what movement do you want to serve, and then repeat that same movement to have the same result. That's the name of the game for the serve. It's pure mechanical. You got a target area. You want to repeat the same action. The only difference is you want to maybe change your grip a little to create a spin or whatever. That's another story. But the movement itself is a repeatable force. And how do you do that? So the hands are the key for power to transfer the most force. 80% of the total force going into the racket. You don't believe, you can flick it back like this, throw up a ball, go like that, and do it. That's a target area. So understanding what size. 2, gripping it. Now, if you grip it here, see how it's way down here? Your wrist action is less. If you grip it up here, your wrist action is far greater. So your rotation like this. When you grip it here, your hand can't move. You can test this. Don't accept what I'm saying. But if you grip it way up here, and this is where this right here comes so important. If it's too big for your hand, you naturally will go right to here, which has limited wrist action. But if you go up here, you can go bring the racket way back. So understanding how to play your racket up here, not down here. You can use that for other serves when you're backhanding or your forward swing. That's fine, but not for the serve. There's a whole process for the serve for transferring force. It's different purpose in the forehand or the backhand and responding to a ball. Now you want to create a serve. You're in control. You're totally in control of it. And so how do you create the best hand action, wrist, palm, fingers, and tips? And how you putting strength and energy in your fingertips is the name of the game. That's it. So at different stages of the swing, back here is one thing, and how do you hold it, how you can make it snap, and involve. But finding this size for your hand, for your grip, is a key element I argue. So you can have it more up here, and you can activate your little finger and ring finger in your serve more. Those are your key fingers. The other thing I want to teach you, I don't care what you're doing now, involve. When you're going to hit the ball, this finger here should be pointed straight out. Never have that finger around your grip when you're trying to hit the ball. That's the number one rule. Have it pointed out there. 2, whatever way you're holding it, make sure that area right here is on the bone. So you want your grip, the way you're gripping your forearm. That is a key part. You don't want it too far in here or too far out. You just want it at the edge, like on the edge right here. But that bone is a key. When you put it there, then your hand is across here more. Here more, up here, not down here. This is only for the serve. Understanding this is for the serve. All the others, hit the ball is something else. It's different. So understanding, these are the key points at the beginning of this series. Is if you just like the idea of using the little finger, fingertips. So when you're snapping the fingertips into the racket. And you're pointing this finger out. Now the thumb comes in play at the point of impact. That's the process. All movement, snapping through, soft hands, let the wrist back, and then you move your hands forward and you bring your tips here, point that finger here, and when you hit the ball, you squeeze the thumb against this. You can put it here. You can do this one. I like this, where the thumb like this. You're pressing. So it's a contrast between here and here, pointed, and this finger right here is supporting the thumb. So you're going forward. When you're hitting it, squeeze this finger, the thumb, the ball. If you want to go around like this, swing the finger like that. But the key is having this finger pointed at the point and this edge right there. Whatever way you want to grip a racket, but try to find it narrow enough for your hands. If you got small hands, you need it small. If you got big hands, it's easier to do. And if you take a look at most tennis players that are really good, the hands are fairly good size in relationship to the size here. That's why they can make that snap better than most. That's why. And you let it fall back. But if you can really practice the snap and how to tighten your hand. Core and hand, not shoulders. The problem with serving, in so many ways, people tighten their shoulders. And when you tighten these muscles up here in your serve, you make the hands weak. The shoulders have to be soft, fluid, down, and the core has to be. So the more tension you have here and back here, this muscle back here at the base, you squeeze that muscle there together, like the old expression, squeeze your butt cheeks together, your shoulders can be soft. If you don't, the shoulders are going to be tight when you're hitting the ball. The number one rule, fluid shoulders all the time and tight cheeks here. How do you make those tight? It's up here. So it's here, here, and hand. My training, because of my Qigong training, my martial arts training, my Tai Chi and all, that is, it's all about core. That's this area, hips, how to make the strongest, down here involved. And then it's all about feet, hands, and head. That's where you want your energy to go. That's what you want your strength to go. It's all to the feet, hands. The legs and arms are conduit for your force. That's it. You got a racket. Where do you want your force, your strength most rate? In your arm or in your fingertips? Same with the feet. You're going to run. You're going to run with your legs or with your feet, your toes, the ball of the foot, the different parts. So understanding finger ergonomics comes to play for the serve. This is the beginning. I will comment. I'd love to have any comments about this so I can respond to. This is complicated. It's new. The idea of finger, the grip concept, pointing this finger out like this, shape it, and having that bone. Using that bone as a snapping point, as a pivot point of bringing these fingers together. It's like it rests like this on there. These are concepts. Play with them, test them, see the difference. But you've got number one rule. You've got to have soft shoulders and firm cheeks and tight here. And you create it through core breathing. Those are the key elements. This is the first video series of tennis serve mechanics, finger ergonomics for the serve.